Yeah, that's right, Jameson. When you think of calming your mind, you rarely think that listening to a hardcore metal band would be therapeutic. But last Saturday night, I interviewed concert goers as they headed in to see a local band who's helping people heal from mental health issues. Whether they suffer from depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, or any other issue, they felt accepted and surrounded by love during this concert in Ybor City. But before we bring you this Rebound report, a warning tonight. You may find some of the videos and music lyrics disturbing.
So I was diagnosed with ADHD at the age of 7, bipolar at 13, and the subject matter that prison talks about is pretty much what goes on in my head.
It makes you feel like, someone understands what you're going through and feels your pain.
Battling with depression a lot when I was younger. He does the speeches before the shows, and he kind of gets to me every time. He speaks to my heart.
These fans are talking about the hardcore metal band Prison. Lead singer Johnny Crowder sings about mental health issues, but realizes the style of music may not sound tranquil to everyone.
It's hard to explain to people who hear screaming on a record and think, like, how can that help you? It sounds angry and violent, but for me, it's always calmed me down. It's brought me a lot of peace in my life.
And that piece seems to resonate with his audience as he talks honestly while on stage about addiction and self-harm after trying to die by suicide 3 times.
One thing I preach is definitely anti-self-harm. So it's not only anti-suicide, but also, like, there's a lot of people struggling with eating disorders. There's a lot of people who engage in self-harm practices. And one kind of common theme that I say is this world is gonna hurt you plenty. There's no need for you to add to it.
His message of hope and healing reaches fans who often need to hear it the most.
Honestly, I had to put my childhood dog down yesterday, and it's hurting in my brain a lot right now, but I'm here instead of doing something bad, and it's gonna help a lot.
And it's really raw music, knowing that someone else feels the way you do and is really open with his mental health, and that helps.
The band's song, Still Alive, seems to be a crowd favorite.
But now we're here, we got something to prove. We will never die, we will never die. Let me hear your voices one more time.
I'm still alive, through everything that I've been through and everything that I experienced in my life. I'm still here.
No matter how far down you get, you're still up. You're still alive. It's deep.
Chase Young identifies with Prison's song about sexual abuse entitled Rape Me.
Rape me. You know that I'm too weak to speak my mind.
And the video is raw and eye-opening.
That's something that doesn't get talked about ever. Dudes getting raped, that's never talked about.
So I'm really, really outspoken about sexual consent. I've cried performing that song. I've had fans cry, like, picture it, big, buff, bearded, like, hand tattoo Harley guys, like, crying in the pit and coming up to me afterwards and saying, when I was a kid or just 3 years ago, they're sharing these stories.
The writing of his songs seemed to hit each fan differently.
He has phrases in his songs that are the exact things that I've thought in my brain, and it's nice to hear it out loud without any, like, stigma attached.
I mean, music in general really helps me pull myself out of the hole. Prison in general, definitely I identify with it, and it just makes me feel less alone.
Mental illness is not a name to be abused for fortune or fame.
And what might be surprising, Crowder uses no curse words in any of his lyrics, and that is on purpose.
I've been writing my whole life, and I've always felt that word choice is really important. So if given an opportunity to choose what word to say or to write, profanity is normally at the bottom of the creativity ladder.
Prison's lead singer puts faith front and center, wearing a cross around his neck and a tattoo on his cheek, showcasing his Christianity.
I've had fans be like, "Oh, you're a Christian." like, oh, I feel differently about your music now. And I'm like, this is part of what I want to address, is the church misunderstands metal and metal misunderstands the church.
And Prison's message to get help if you need it has fans walking away with hope.
There should never be a stigma around mental health. The best thing you can do is ask for help, and sometimes that's the hardest step.
You know, knowing that they are there for mental health advocacy is a really big thing for a lot of people that have this group's mentality, you know, so it's really uplifting.
Everyone's struggling with their mental issues and everything. He just uplifts everyone and tries to care and help everybody around him.
If you or someone you know needs help, call the Crisis Center of Tampa Bay any time of day at 211. You can also call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That number 1-800-273-8255.